Shri Gurubhyo Namah Hari Om. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Gurave Sarvalokanam Bhijaje Pavaroginam Nidhaye Sarvavidhyanam Sri Dakshinamurtaye Namah. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Kodi Samaprabha Nirvighna Guru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Gajananam Bhutaganaadisevitam Kapittajambhuparasaravakshidam Umasudam Shokavinashakaranam Namami Vighneswarapadapangajam Shuklam Vishnum Shivardam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyaye Sarvavighnopashantahe Vyasam Ashtanaptaram Jakte Bhotramakalvajam Parasharatmajam Hande Jagadatam Tapavanidhim Vyasaya Vishnurupaya Vyasarupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanideye Vasishtaya Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Nadaram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Chaiva Tato Jayamudhire. So last time, about a month ago, we were looking at how the Pandavas and Dhritarashtra's children, they were learning from Drona, right? So Drona was teaching all type of weaponry, arms, everything, how to use that. And Yudhishthira was excelling in spears. Bhima, Duryodhana, they were great in mace. Arjuna was excellent in all, but he was he was the greatest in archery. And Nakula Sahadeva and everybody's sword and all the other things, right? So they were all learning. And while they were learning like that, Drona conducts some tests for them. One day, he puts a bird, artificial bird in the tree, and he asks everyone to see take an aim on that bird and ask them, what do you see? Everyone says, I see the tree, I see the bird, I see everything else, all those things. Arjuna says he sees only the head of the bird. And Drona was very pleased with them. And then another time, a crocodile bites Drona, right? In the river. And then Arjuna immediately releases arrows and from that he releases Dronas from that crocodile. So Drona was very pleased. So like that, from that, Drona was very pleased, and then he gives him the Upadesha or blessings of Brahmastra. Brahmastra is the Brahmastra, Narayanastra, Pashupatastra. These three weapons are Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva's weapons. Okay, and there is no other alternative for them. And if one releases that, almost if for misuse of that, it is like nuclear bomb. Okay, today's nuclear bomb are more powerful than nuclear bomb. So it ends the entire world. If you mistakenly release it, it ends everything. Okay, so that's why Drona says that don't use it on the people who are inferior, who are not strong as you. Don't use on them. Don't use on anything that's for your own self gain. Only use it for the benefit of the world. Okay, and with that, he blesses, he gives Upadesha of Brahmastra, how to release it and how to revoke it. Once you release it, if you think you should not have done it, you should know the mantra to get it back. Okay, so he teaches that. And after that, Drona, the whole purpose of Drona doing this is to take revenge on Drupada, right? Before that, he wanted to showcase the Kuru princes, whatever they have learned, Pandavas and Dhritarashtra's children, whatever they have learned. So Drona goes to Dhritarashtra and says, we want to showcase their skills. Okay, it is like in the olden days, exams or performance, you go in the stage and then perform. Okay, so they wanted to showcase. So Dhritarashtra instructs Vidura to organize everything. They build a huge auditorium, and in that they start, everybody assembles there. Bhishma, Gandhari, Kunti. Who is Gandhari?
100 kids' mother.
Yeah, she is the wife of Dhritarashtra. Okay, and all of them assemble there, and at that time Drona enters first with Ashwatthama, and then Yudhishthira enters. He shows off his skills, and then Bhima and Duryodhana enter the arena. They show off their skills, but instead of showing off their skills, they started fighting with each other with mace, and they were fighting so badly that Drona asks Ashwatthama to go and interfere and stop them. And Drona becomes angry and says, this was a skill showcase. It is not an actual war. Okay, and they stops him. And then Arjuna comes. And when Arjuna comes, Drona says that this Arjuna is dearer to me than my own son, Ashwatthama. Okay, and he is master in all the weapons like Vishnu himself. He knows everything. And then Arjuna comes there, and Arjuna displays his skills. Okay, and all the crowd assembled there, they were very pleased. Arjuna displays Agneastra. Agneastra is fire. Varuna is, and the Varunastra, which is water, rain. And then Vayuvyastra, wind. Parjanya, which is cloud. Bhaumastra, earth. Parvatastra, which is mountains. Okay, Antardana, which is like hiding. You disappear from the scene suddenly. Okay, so he showcases all those weapons. Okay, and everybody was amazed by his skills. And while he was doing that, suddenly a huge sound comes from the entrance of the arena. Everybody starts looking at what is this sound, and then there enters Karna. Okay, Karna was born, if you remember, to Kunti before her marriage, and she put him in a basket, and he was she put that basket on river Ganga, right? And he was rescued by a fisherman, a Suta, and Radha, her mother is Radha, and so Karna comes there, and he says that I will do everything that Arjuna does and even better. Okay. At that time, Duryodhana and everybody become very pleased because they were a bit worried. Bhima, is not a problem because Bhima, Duryodhana always thought I can fight with Bhima. Okay, Yudhishthira was not strong in weaponry or armory or anything. Nakula Savadeva or anyway, they were normal. Okay, so you can fight them. Duryodhana was stronger than them. Only problem in Pandavas was Arjuna. Okay, now Karna comes there and says, I'm going to counter. Okay, I'm going to show everything that Arjuna did. Seeing that, Kunti recognizes Karna through his armory. Okay, he had armor in his chest and also earrings, which he was born with. Okay, seeing that, Kunti faints, and then Vidura sprinkles water and Kunti regains her senses, but she could not say anything. She could not say that he is my son because she never told anybody. And then Arjuna, they start, once this is done, Arjuna, Duryodhana, everybody, they all start arguing with each other. At that time, Drona, Ashwatthama, everyone comes and says that this is, who are you? And they ask, what are you doing? Okay. And then at that time, Kripacharya, who was there, who says that this is Arjuna. Okay. He is the son of King Pandu. Who are you? And Karna says, Karna remains quiet at that time. Okay. He doesn't say anything. And then immediately Duryodhana says, if he is nothing, if Arjuna can only fight with princes or kings, then I will make Karna the king. I will make him the king of Anga kingdom. I will make him the king. And Duryodhana immediately gives Anga kingdom to Karna. Okay. And then Karna says, I will always be your friend. Okay. And so they will become good friends from that point onwards. So then, Karna was preparing to fight now as a king of Anga with Arjuna. and showcase his skills. At that time, Adhiratha comes. Adhiratha is Karna's father, not real father, the one who actually Radha's son, okay, Radha's husband, okay. He is the Suta who rescued from the river and then helped Karna, okay. So Adhiratha enters the arena. He was shaking, he was very tense, he was trembling. He comes there and immediately on seeing him, Karna goes and worships him, bows him. Everybody says, oh, Karna is this Suta's son. He's nowhere equal to Arjuna. He can't fight. Okay, Bhima and everybody start laughing at him. Duryodhana with that becomes very angry. He says, there should not be any, if somebody has got skill, you should not be looking at whom they are and why they are, where they are born and everything else like that. But while he was doing all that justification, okay, Krupacharya says it is nearly evening time, so we should stop this, okay, because the rule of battle, combat is one should not fight after the sunset, okay. So they all say that this is stopped now, this display, the skills display is stopped. So all of them went home, went back to their own homes. Duryodhana was very pleased because he got a friend in Karna who can face up to Arjuna. Everything that Arjuna displayed, all the weapons, Agneya, Vayuvya, Varunastra, every weapon that he displayed, Karna also displayed. Okay, so Duryodhana was very pleased, and on the other hand, Yudhishthira was also very impressed with Karna's skills. He recognizes that Karna is real warrior and he has got the skills. Okay. Pranil, what's your question?
How did Duryodhana make Karna the king of Anga without Duryodhana having any relations to Anga?
So Duryodhana was the king of Anga. Duryodhana had that control of that province, that kingdom. So he says, I will give you that kingdom.
Okay.
Okay. Then Drona now thinks about Drupada. If you remember last month when we had the sessions, I said Drupada insulted Drona, right? Drona went asking for a cow, saying, you are my friend and give me a cow. Drupada says, you are no longer my friend. Okay, I am a king and you are still a poor Brahmana. Your friendship can only happen between the equals. So that's why Drona comes to Hastinapura, hoping that he will teach some princes and then through them he will take revenge. Drona now thinks it is time to take his Guru Dakshina, fees from those students. So he invites all of them, Duryodhana and his brothers, Yudhishthira and his brothers, everybody he invites, and he says, I want the fees, Guru Dakshina. Guru Dakshina is you have to go and seize Drupada. Okay, you have to capture him. Duryodhana with Karna, Yutsu, Dushasana, everybody, all his brothers and army, Hastinapura's army, he takes that and he goes and surrounds Panchala. Panchala is the Drupada's kingdom. Okay, that's the kingdom name, region. So he attacks that kingdom, but Drupada, realizing that he will attack and Drupada has a very strong army, he comes and fights and he defeats Duryodhana. Duryodhana and his army start running away from battle. Okay, and after that, Pandavas ask Drona's permission to go and capture Drupada. They go 5 people alone, okay, with Bhima leading them, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva, all with side of Bhima. They went ahead and they countered one after another, and then Arjuna captures Drupada. Okay, every weapon that Drona released, if Drona releases 5 arrows, Arjuna is to release 50 arrows in a second. Okay, Arjuna was so quick that Drupada could not stop him, and he captures Drupada. And at that time, Yudhishthira says, do not attack any more soldiers or anybody, because once the king is captured, we should not hurt anybody. Okay, so the kingdom is gone. So they bring Drupada in front of Drona. And then Drona says, you said I am not your equal. Now we have captured you. I am giving you, because Drona effectively won the entire Panchala kingdom, right? So Drona is now can become the king. So what Drona says is, in my Panchala kingdom, I will give you half the share, half the kingdom I will give you. South of river Ganga is yours, north of it is mine. Okay, so we both have half the kingdom, we are equal. Now can you accept me as your friend? Okay, so Drupada at that time, because he could not say anything more, he says, yes, you are my best friend. Okay, because he lost the battle, he had no choice, but he says, yes, you are my best friend. And Drona starts, Drupada goes, starts ruling Kampilya, which is south of Ganga river, and he starts ruling that part, and Drona takes the north of the river. Okay, and Drona continues to live there and continues to live in the north of the river after that. So while that's after that, all the Kurus and Pandavas, everybody, they still continue to learn from Drona and others. For example, Bhima goes to Balarama. Balarama is Krishna's elder brother. He goes to him, and through him, he learns mace, okay, Gada, fighting with that. And Arjuna again masters more and more weapons from Drona. And at that time, Drona gives him the blessings of Brahmashira weapon, which he acquired from his guru, Agnivesha. Agnivesha, if you remember, I told you, he was a rishi born of fire god, Agni, and from him, Drona's learned weapons. And then Drona learned all the weaponry, more celestial weapons, divine weapons from Parashurama. Okay. So Drona says that, I want one more thing from you, Arjuna. If I ever have to face you in a battle, you should not look at me like he is my guru. You just face me like your enemy and fight me equally. You should not disappoint me. And Arjuna agrees to that. And after that, Arjuna goes on a conquering trip. Okay, he goes and defeats most of the kingdoms around Hastinapura, okay, Kuru, and expands that. From that, he brings lot of wealth. Okay, and Pandavas were becoming so strong and famous that it starts worrying Dhritarashtra. Okay, he starts thinking what to do next. Okay, because Pandavas are becoming so strong, if they become so favorite of the people, they will become his sons Duryodhana and others will not have any chance of becoming the kings. So it starts worrying Dhritarashtra. So he consults one of his ministers called Kanika, okay, asking him what to do. Okay, so Kanika, so again here, if you look, Dhritarashtra had a very good minister called Vidura, if you remember, right? Vidura is knowledgeable and Vidura knows everything. But here Dhritarashtra goes and asks the advice from a minister called Kanika. What Kanika says is, Dhritarashtra tells him, Kanika, that I am worried about Pandavas. Tell me what to do, what is right for me. And Kanika says that king should never show their fear. Okay, they should never exhibit their fear. Even if they are very much worried, they should never say that I'm worried. Okay, they should always be ready to take weapons and take control of whoever is their enemy, whoever it is. It may be their father, it may be their neighbor, it may be their relative, it may be their guru. Okay, whoever it is, they should be ready to attack them. If you can't attack them, make friendship. Okay, make friendship with them, and when they are in weak position for whatever reason, for any other reasons, at that time go and attack them. You should never have an enemy who is, even if you think they are friendly, never leave them alive. Okay, Kanika gives this kind of advice. And then Kanika tells a story. Okay, he tells a story that there was a fox, okay, which had friendship with a tiger, a mouse, a wolf, and a mongoose, okay, in the forest. And in that forest, there was a very big, strong deer, okay, which they all wanted to eat. Okay, but the tiger and everyone tried. They could not capture that deer because it was so strong, it used to run away every time. So they make a plan. The fox tells the mouse that one day when that deer is sleeping, go and bites its hoof, okay, so that its foot will be a little bit wonky. When next time it runs, it will slip and we can go and catch. Okay, so the next, after a few days, the mouse goes and bites the hoof of the deer, makes it one leg little bit wonky. It can't walk properly. So it comes and tells the tiger, and tiger goes and catches the deer. Okay, once they catch, the fox says that now you all go and do your prayers, evening prayers. After that, we all take our dinner. Okay, this nice deer we will eat together. All of them go, and then when they come back, the fox was sitting there as if it is doing in a deep meditation. Okay, and then the tiger comes first, and then the fox says, I can't eat this deer meat because the mouse came and said that it captured, it was because of the mouse we managed to capture it, and mouse thinks it is his food and we are not worthy of eating it. Tiger becomes very upset. It thinks that I should not live based on something that a mouse captured. But tiger says that from today onwards, I will capture everything on my own and I will make my own food, and then it walks away. After that, once the tiger walks away, it comes and says, the mouse comes. Okay, the mouse comes and the fox tells the mouse that the tiger has said that this deer which is killed by tiger has got poison of the tiger's claws, and if anyone tries to eat, tiger says that it will kill them. So tiger just now went out to bring his wife. So if you are brave mouse, please eat it. Otherwise, if I were you, I will not touch this food. And then mouse thinks about it and gets scared because tiger might kill it. Mouse also walks away. And then the wolf comes. And the wolf comes, the fox again makes another statement saying that the tiger came and tiger is very angry with you because you did not do much help, but you are coming to eat here. If I were you, I will run away now. And the wolf thinks and it runs away. And then finally the mongoose comes. When the mongoose comes, the fox says that I single-handedly defeated everybody of them, tiger, mouse, wolf, everybody. You are the last one. Come and fight with me. I will defeat you as well, and I will eat you along with deer. Mongoose got scared, thinking, oh God, this fox somehow defeated tiger as well. I can't survive. And mongoose also runs. So the fox eats the deer. What Kanika is trying to tell Dhritarashtra here is, even though you are friend with all those people, you should be ready to defeat them and take control. Okay, so he says that if you should always have the spies. Okay, spies looking after your enemies, bringing you the news about your people. If any enemies are preparing to do something, everything. So you should have spies everywhere and every place, whether it is in the garden, in the parks, temples, holy places, drinking places, streets, ministers, along with your ministers, priests, commanders in chief, every place, wherever you go, all those places you should have your own spies, and those spies should bring you the news, and you should know what your people are thinking about you and what they're trying to do you. And you should always be very gentle with when speaking to people, even though you hate them. Okay, even though you want to kill somebody, don't show that in your face. Okay, talk nicely and attack from behind when they are not least expecting. When they are least expecting, attack them. So like this bad advice, lot of bad advice Kanika gives to Dhritarashtra. Okay, and finally he says that if you are really worried about Pandavas, make such a way that take some action so that you will not regret it in some time in future. Okay, so you take some action now so that you don't have to cry again in future. Okay, otherwise you might have to cry and you might have to worry in future. So take some actions. So such a bad advice Kanika gives to Dhritarashtra. Okay, Dhritarashtra starts thinking about what to do with these Pandavas now. His mind is now going in the wrong direction. Okay, his thoughts are in the bad thoughts, starts coming. Any questions up to now? Okay, next. So with all this happening, all the citizens of Hastinapura, they were very pleased with Pandavas. They were very humble. They were talking very nicely. They were looking after the people. They were skillful and they were protecting all the public. So they were very pleased. Okay, all the people were talking about great Pandavas, and some people even started saying that when Pandu was king, Dhritarashtra did not become a king because he was blind. Until now, we did not have an alternative, so we have a blind king. But now Yudhishthira is strong and he is worthy of becoming a king. Why don't we ask Dhritarashtra to step down and Yudhishthira to become king? People were started talking like that, and Duryodhana hears that. He becomes very, very angry. He goes to Dhritarashtra and says that this is not good for us. Your children are going to suffer. So you have to make some decisions here. Okay. And at that time, he also tells that if it continues like that, Yudhishthira will become king and then his children will become kings. My children, I and my children will not have anything. Okay. So Duryodhana says that, and that again, thinking about what Kanika has said, Dhritarashtra starts thinking even more and more about Pandavas, and he becomes very much, he starts feeling very sad because he could not do much. Okay. Meanwhile, Duryodhana, Shakuni, and Karna, they all started planning to somehow get rid of Pandavas. Okay. Duryodhana goes to Dhritarashtra and asks Dhritarashtra to send Pandavas to Varanavrat. Okay. Varanavrat is a place. So he asks them to send there. And Dhritarashtra understands the reason for it. And he says that we can't do such things to Pandavas because when Pandu was alive, he looked after us very well. Okay. I can't do such a bad thing to his Pandu's sons. And even if we try, Bhishma, Drona, Kripacharya, Vidura, or everybody will stop us. Okay, so don't do something silly. But Duryodhana says that Bhishma will not do anything because he will listen to everything you say. Drona, Kripacharya, again, they are your servants. They will not do anything. Vidura, even if he says something, it doesn't matter. Okay, so he says nobody is going to stop. You can make the decision. You can send them to Varanavrat. Okay, so then the Duryodhana, before that, what's happening is, so they are planning to kill Pandavas. Okay, but if Pandavas die, then the next thing is who is going to become king? Duryodhana. Okay, but Duryodhana does not have a good reputation. Okay, so what Duryodhana starts now is he starts to make everyone happy. All the citizens of Hastinapura, he starts giving them gift. He starts giving them a lot of honors. He starts giving them food, everything, so that people start saying, wow, Duryodhana is so good. He gave us so much money yesterday. He gave us food yesterday. He gave this title yesterday. Okay, so people start talking about Duryodhana very highly. Okay, so that is what Duryodhana is planning is, once, let's say, Yudhishthira dies, and people, if they are talking very well of Duryodhana, Then they will say, unfortunately, the Yudhishthira died. Now we have Duryodhana, who is very good. He can become our king. Okay, people will accept. That's why Duryodhana's cunning plan, he starts making people very happy. Okay, and while he was doing that, he was getting all that positive messages from the people because of his grants. What he does is, one day Dhritarashtra asked one of his counselors to come to assembly and tell about Varanavrat. Okay, Dhritarashtra instructs him, and that counselor comes to Dhritarashtra's assembly and says, I am come from Varanavrat. There is a Pashupati temple, Pashupati Shiva temple. Okay, in Varanavrat, a festival is happening. Okay, we want you to come there. Okay, and Dhritarashtra says, I wanted to go, but I'm very blind. I'm in old age. I can't go. I want to send somebody. I'm looking around who is there. I think I should send Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira is very worthy. He should go there. Okay, and he instructs Yudhishthira that you go there, you go and worship all the Brahmanas and enjoy your time there, spend a lot of time there. And then after spending a lot of time in Varanavrat, after that, you return to Hastinapura. Yudhishthira understands why Dhritarashtra is sending him there, but he accepts because Dhritarashtra is his father's elder brother, and he obeys him. And he says he starts preparing for trip to Varanavrat, to that festival. Okay. Any questions up to now? Yeah, we'll see.
So why did Dhritarashtra actually send Yudhishthira?
Yeah, we will know next week. Okay, I'll tell you next week, because they had a cunning plan to kill Pandavas in Varanavrat. Okay, so if they go there and they wanted to make it like an accident, okay, you probably see in the movies, okay, heroes being sent in a car which is with no brakes, and then suddenly hero dies, and sentimental. Okay, they wanted to make it like an accident. We will look at that, what their plan is. We'll look at that next week. Okay. Yes, Pranil.
I've already read the Mahabharata. This is just for further learning.
Okay, good. Any other questions? Okay.
So is it because did they send them to put them in the wax house and then they'd set it on fire?
Secret. That's a secret. You have to attend next week's class. If I tell you now, he won't come. Yes,
I already know
it,
about it, but I'm coming next
Yeah.
week.
it is the wax house. Yes, Tulsi.
Yes.
Okay. In that case, let's close today, and we will look at what happens in Varanavrat next week. Okay. Thank you. Bye.